In financing the gap, typically we want to borrow resources that carry the least cost. And so this morning I would wish to speak about the challenge of low absorption of donor funds, which is really the least cost type of financing through borrowing. I see it as some kind of a paradox in the sense that over the years we have been very successful in raising resources through our development partners, but the challenge has been our ability or inability to utilize those resources. I think the CS has alluded to this issue, but I want to mention numbers such that we can contextualize the problem. To date, the total donor commitment is about 2.3 trillion. This is this quantum of projects and programs that are funded by donors. But only 1.1 trillion has been utilized. Half of it. Half of the donor commitments have been utilized. And what does the 1.1 trillion that has not been utilized mean really to us as public finance management officers? What it means is that for that money that the donors have made available to us to spend, that we are unable to spend, we pay commitment fees of an average of 0.25%. You can work out the numbers. It means each year the government pays about 2.6 billion shillings. 2.6 billion shillings for its inability to use the funds that have been availed to us. Why do we waste taxpayers' money? Somebody has given you money to spend to finance your development programs, and you are unable or unwilling to spend. And in the meantime, there is pressure for additional loans, uptake of loans. There is increased pressure, and I can tell you the Cabinet Secretary is under extreme pressure to even borrow more. While 1.1 trillion is available for you to spend, but you are not willing to spend. I think in this conversation today, we would want to be candid. Why is it that there is lack of motivation to spend donor funds? Because there must be a reason. There must be a reason why we don't want to spend donor funds. Let's just be honest with one another. Because that 2.6 billion that we pay every year is taxpayers' money, and you are paying for it individually. The delays, I think that has been spoken to on projects implementation, particularly those ones which are donor funded, escalates costs, and it also increases budget deficits. You are quite well aware that the availability of these resources at times, or in most times, is time-bound. How many times have we requested for extension of time to complete for availability of donor funds? The longer the availability period, the more the costs So you keep on paying this development partner for your inefficiency. At times they actually levy penalty for giving you more time to draw on funds. Why is it so? The net effect of this inefficiency in drawing of donor funds means that the Kenyans are unable to reap the benefits of this concessional financing and grants. And at times, we have had cancellations of concessional lending. We have projects that have not taken off for 8 years, for 10 years. For 10 years, a lender has provided you facilities and you are unable to draw. What is it? In various forums, there has been discussions on remedial actions. But I think my plea to you as colleagues, can we be more candid and be practical in providing solutions? Because you are the practitioners. You are involved in project implementation at the line ministries. I would want at the end of the today to hear some of the practical solutions that you put forward. Otherwise, with the delays in drawing of donor funds and the development pressures that this country is facing, we may be forced to continue borrowing